This video has a like goal. Helping this video achieve it will grant you something just as spectacular as the One Piece treasure. Full details at the end of the video. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here today to bring you what if Ace, Sabo and Luffy all joined under one crew, part 6. If you're new to this what if, I'd highly advise going back to part 1, watching that just so there's no confusion and you know exactly what is going on. Also, if you're familiar with the series but you also need a recap, still advising go back to the older parts, catch yourselves back up so you're good to go for part 6. And now without all of that said and done, I am now going to dive in. First thing I want to address is why nobody is getting a bounty at this point. Nezumi is the reason why Luffy gets his first bounty. Having skipped over Arlong Park, the ASL pirates don't meet him, therefore not triggering a first bounty. On the way to Louge Town, Ace, Sabo and Luffy train with spars the same way they did as they were kids. Zoro trains by sparring with Johnny and Yasuko while Sanji is cooking. Over food, Sabo tells the crew as well as Johnny and Yasuko about Louge Town and its connections to Gold Roger. This excites Luffy, but Ace doesn't seem to be fussed. Luffy will talk about how he wants to see the execution platform, but Ace will remind them they're not there for sightseeing, just to pick up a few supplies and equipment and food, and they will be on their way. Luffy sulks. Zoro brings up the need to purchase 2 swords and that he doesn't have the money to do so. Ace will tell him that it will come out the crew's funds and not to worry about it. Johnny and Yasuko insist on accompanying Zoro while he goes to get his swords, which Zoro agrees to. Ace goes on to explain that once they reach Louge Town, him and Luffy will do the equipment shopping while Sanji and Sabo will do the food shopping. So once they arrive, they all split up. Zoro with Johnny and Yasuko start walking around looking for a sword shop until he finds one. He goes in and tells the salesman he has 50,000 berry and wants to buy 2 swords. The salesman will get immediately frustrated and say he doesn't sell such cheap swords and asks Zoro to leave. Johnny and Yasuko don't appreciate the ill manner of the salesman and ask him does he know who he's dealing with. Right before he can respond how little he cares, he notices Wado and asks Zoro if he can see it. Once he confirms it is Wado, he tries to scam Zoro out of it. Johnny and Yasuko try to encourage him to sell it. This is when Togashi still comes in, ruining the scam accidentally. Upon realizing it was a scam, Johnny and Yasuko apologize quickly and repetitively. Of course this annoys the salesman, but Togashi apologizes, still unsure of what is going on. The salesman asks Togashi what does she want already, ready to kick her out the shop. Togashi drops her sword on the desk and says she wants to leave it to get polished. The salesman says sure before going back to addressing Zoro, telling him he's lucky that she came in and that someone like him isn't worthy to own Wado. He also points to the cheapest swords, telling Zoro that they're 50k each, he can buy one of those or leave. Zoro mumbles to himself that he really needs 2 swords. Johnny and Yasuko try to cut a deal with the salesman, but he tells them take it or leave it. Zoro decides to himself it will be better to get 1 sword rather than none at all. While walking over to the barrel, Johnny and Yasuko offer their swords, to which Zoro kindly declines. While looking, Togashi comes over to offer her assistance, to which Zoro doesn't mind accepting. This is where things will take their normal course, with Zoro ending up with the 2 swords he does in the original story. Zoro leaves the shop with Johnny and Yasuko to find his crew. Smoker will mention the pirate report and asks for Togashi, to which the Marines will say she's gone to drop off her sword to be polished. Meanwhile, Ace and Luffy have found a shop to buy repair supplies for the merry-go. While Ace is looking around deciding how much of what to buy, Luffy slips away without Ace knowing. Ace doesn't realize until he has paid for the stuff and is ready to leave. Upon realizing, he shakes his head for not noticing sooner. Sanji and Sabo do the food shopping but buy more than in the original story, consisting of fruit, veg and more meat. Luffy makes it to the execution platform and makes his way to the top for a better look. Some officers try to warn him to get down, but Alvida interrupts, knocking out the officer and then telling Luffy, I've been looking for you so I can get my revenge. With her new devil fruit, Luffy doesn't recognize her, so there's a bit of back and forth before she reveals who she is. Alvida continues to take out the officers who oppose her. Luffy jumps off the execution platform, not worried or bothered by Alvida, and attempts to leave. Alvida doesn't let him, and her newly formed crew is revealed. A fight breaks out with Luffy easily taking out all the members except Alvida. Due to Alvida's new devil fruit, the fight between her and Luffy results in a stalemate. Around this time, Ace, Zoro, Johnny, Yasuku, Sabo and Sanji are meeting in the town square. Zoro will ask where's Luffy, to which Ace will say dunno, he ran off. The fight that breaks out still gets reported, so Smoker comes to the town square. However, before getting there, he meets Togashi outside. She is given her jacket as well as a replacement sword. When Zoro gets his status report, he will be told of one wanted pirate is fighting someone they can't identify. The ASL pirates will hear the commotion and realize that Luffy is the center of it. Smoker will be given his orders from the place he and the other marines are watching. Questions about Luffy will surface. Is he a pirate, a bounty hunter, etc. Luffy and Alvida will continue fighting with no one getting the upper hand. Eventually, the rest of the ASL pirates, with Johnny and Yasuku, make their way through the crowd. Sabo says they better go before the marines show up. Realizing that her plan has failed and that she is outnumbered, she lets them go. While this is happening, one of Smoker's men will recognize Zoro approaching Luffy with the rest of the ASL pirates. This will result in Smoker assuming that Luffy is a bounty hunter working under Zoro, simply trying to capture Alvida for her bounty. Upon hearing mention of his name, Togashi will become curious, look through her binoculars and notice Zoro as the guy from the shop earlier. Smoker realizes what is happening and orders his men to move out. While moving out, Smoker gets reports about a ship at the western harbour with an unfamiliar Jolly Roger. Smoker orders to sink it and wait nearby to capture the crew. At the western harbour, they prepare for cannons to fire when two cloaked figures appear to defend the ship. The marines ask who they are and if this is their ship. They both ignore this question and talk amongst themselves. One of them saying, "You can handle this by yourself." The other one says, "Probably, but I wouldn't mind a little help." To which she gets a reply, "Why? You're not so weak that you need my help with something so small." It's unclear, but these words of encouragement seem to have given the second person a boost in power. She goes on to crush the cannons the marines had ready to take down the merry-go with her green mechanical arm, before easily dealing with the marines. The one who watched comments on how that wasn't so bad, to which she gets a reply, "Yeah, I know." The scene ends with them watching over the merry-go. Back at the town square, Smoker has arrived and has quickly rounded up the Alvida pirates. While looking around for Togashi, Smoker will realize she ain't present. Smoker will quiz his men and quickly find out she went after Zoro. Out of the protective nature he has for Togashi, he will go to check on her, so he hops on his motorbike to do so. The ASL pirates, Johnny and Yasuku, bump into Togashi. Togashi addresses Zoro. "Rona Zoro, your sword, Wada Ichimonji. I will be taking it from you." Everyone is shocked but don't slow down. Zoro tells them to go on ahead and that he will wrap this up quickly. They do so while Zoro vs Togashi happens just like it does in the original story. And just like in the original story, they still have the same argument about why Togashi thinks Zoro didn't kill her and how much she reminds Zoro of his childhood friend. Because unlike in the original story, Smoker would be wanting to find Togashi and not trying to cut Luffy off before he could escape, I think it's safe to say he would appear in front of Togashi and Zoro mid-argument. He would ask if everything is alright, causing them to stop. Zoro will reply everything is fine before starting to walk away into a jog. Togashi shouts back at him, "I will take your sword from you one day." Smoker says to Togashi, "Why wait? I'll help you take it now." Smoker starts to manipulate his devil fruit, but before he can attack, Togashi says no, that she wants to do it with her own hands. Smoker deactivates his ability before telling Togashi, "Let's go then." On top of a nearby building, a cloaked figure can be seen watching. By the time Zoro arrives, they are just about ready to set sail. Zoro notices the defeated marines not too far away. Sabo notices and says that they were like that when they arrived. Zoro asks, "What do you think happened?" to which Zoro says no clue. Ace says it doesn't matter, we got what we want, let's just get out of here and go. Johnny and Yasuku take this moment to address the ASL pirates and tell them that they won't be going any further, saying that the Grand Line is too big for them. They all say their goodbyes and shortly after they set sail. Back at the base, Smoker is remembering about the marines that went to the western harbour and realizing that they haven't checked in yet decides to call them. One picks up and explains what happened to them. This makes Smoker furious as this is the first time parents got away from him. Somewhere in Louge Town, two cloaked figures approach another. You two did good, he says. The one with the metallic arm replies, I don't get why we're helping some unknown pirate crew though. All three of them stand in silence as they watch the merry-go sail away. Out at sea, Sabo mentions the lighthouse and what it means. Sanji brings out the barrel to celebrate making it this far. They all declare their dreams upon the barrel. To find all blue, Sanji says. To become a great pirate and proven better than all the rest, Ace says. To be the greatest swordsman, Zoro says. To see the world in all its glory and write a book on my findings, Sabo says. I'm gonna... The sound of a wave masks the rest of what Luffy says for us, the audience. They break the barrel. Zoro and Sanji are in shock by what Luffy says, while Sabo laughs, claiming that Luffy hasn't changed. They sail off for the Grand Line. This is where I'm ending off part 6, so without further ado, the light goal. Alrighty, so let's talk about the light goal. So I was thinking if we can get 10 likes within the first week, then I will have the next part out the week after that. Just so there's no confusion, I have the dates displayed on the screen. So yeah, let's see if we can hit this like goal. Don't forget to check the end cards for the next part, because depending on when you're watching this, it may already be out. Like always guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care, have a nice day.